Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant-based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We're literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and get with alkalinity, then you can generate some static electricity, send me some love telepathically, set attention to your mind, and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I want to talk about connecting with God, connecting with spirit, connecting with the universe, connecting with cosmic awareness, and fixating your awareness at this level, right? And kind of making the expansion from what they call everyday consciousness to a universal, or at least global. Okay, so let's get into this. So expansion of awareness is very, very, very important. Okay, because this is pretty much this is the cosmic movement, right? Expansion of awareness, and that's all there is to it. It's literally uh, the cosmic agenda or the cosmic movement, right? To expand your awareness. Um, Now, expanding your awareness is literally just expanding your being, okay, or coming into a state of realization of a more expansive being, because everything is self-realization over achievement, or over attainment, right? More so than achieving or achievement or attaining anything. It's just a state of realization. So this means that nobody is behind anybody, nobody is higher than anybody. More so, it's something to come into, you know. You can't, it's there's nothing to achieve and there's nothing to attain, right? It's nothing physical either. It's nothing like that. This is the fulfillment of oneself, right? This is the experience of God. Okay, so you can connect yourself with God. Um, and the easiest way that I found to do this is to connect yourself with the nature of things, the nature of everything, because nature is the source, right? So you connect yourself with nature, and the harmoniousness of nature's force allows you to come into a expansive awareness naturally, because it's a natural thing. It's not something. It's not something to be bought. It's not something to be attained. It's not something to be achieved. This is something that everybody is already in, you know. But you need to come into that level of realization, okay? And realization involves shifting the awareness. So that's all the entire process is a shift of awareness. And you shift awareness through growing your energy levels, okay? And the reason I say this is because consciousness is energy. Uh, Consciousness is conscious energy, right? And the more energy that you have, the more expansive you are going to be, okay? So the higher your energy levels, the higher your awareness is going to be. And this is very important because it allows you to tap into higher states of consciousness, which is the universal movement, or it's the movement of God, okay? You don't want to go through third parties, like you don't want to go through religions, because it's something within you. You don't actually need to look outside of yourself for it. It's something to be realized through yourself, right? You don't need another person to ever show you this, unless you really trust that person, and unless and you see that person or that being is gonna actually put you on the connection that is going to fulfill you, right? Which is within that God connection itself. So it's something to be realized, right? You come into the state of realization through connecting yourself with the earth. The more you're able to connect yourself with the electromagnetic field of the earth, the more that you're able to connect yourself with the universal electromagnetic field, because it's one and the same. And the electromagnetic energy itself is consciousness. So the more that you're able to resonate within the electromagnetic energy, the more you're resonating within consciousness. Okay. And the deeper you're able to go into this, the more you're shifting your awareness to something that's universally emanating or permeating. And the deeper you go into this, once again, you can come into a transcendental state, right? And these transcendental states are what you're really looking for, because this is what is going to allow you to dissolve away the ego. Okay, and the ego is a minute dimension of intelligence, right? Or maybe intellect. I don't know which one it is. It's very, very small. Okay, by this I mean the ego is extremely feeble, right? And the ego, it doesn't actually exist because it's part of a conceptual reality in identification, right? So you're identifying yourself with a certain image or a certain labeling, certain conditioning, sets of conditioning, certain programs, whatever it may be. You're in an identification. That's what the ego is. You're identified as a certain entity, okay? That doesn't exist, because that's not who you actually are. Who you are imagining yourself to be is not actually who you are in the complete totality of existence, because that's just a small dimension of mind. And once you're able to recede from that from that identification, you can fall into deeper dimensions of mind, and the ego immediately ceases to be, right? But it is never actually, because it's not. It's something figmented, right? So it doesn't actually exist. So the ego, it thrives off of fear, thrives off of arguing, it thrives off of conflict, it thrives off of lowly vibrations, it thrives off of corruption, it thrives off of low vibrations, right? Because it wants to keep you within a set of conditions so that it can keep you entangled in the world, and in like a slave mindset, right? But the moment that you dissolve that away, you can connect yourself with your true nature, which is of a godliness, because you are a god, because you're an energetical being. You're literally an electromagnetic being. The flesh is just a dimension of that manifest energy. So there's the electromagnetic energy that everything is, which is consciousness. Everything is consciousness, or the electromagnetic energy. This energy can manifest itself in an infinite amount of different forms, and one of those dimensions is the flesh, right? So that's just one, though. That's just one. There's infinite, right? So the reason we're fixated on the flesh or on the mind, or a little bit of both, is because that's how the society wants it to be, to keep you locked in the flesh so they can keep controlling you, right? So if you connect yourself with God more, you can create an experience for yourself which is going to allow you to transcend the flesh, the mind, this is what is needed, because this is going to happen inevitably. This happens to everybody. Okay? When you die, the flesh doesn't last forever. So when the flesh dies, you are going to shed the flesh, or you are going to transcend the flesh into another dimension, right? Because life is eternal. Death does not exist. Life is existence. Death is non-existent. So death is non-existent. It doesn't exist. They're more in between states, right? In between states are void, and within these timelessness, right? And not much to be said about them. Okay, I can't talk about the voids because I haven't experienced them, so I don't actually know. But the the connection to God or spirit or the universe or nature is what you're really looking for, because this is what is going to allow you to create that foundation, which can allow you to center yourself in being, right? This is the treasure. This is the that's the wealth. Being is the wealth, because without being, there would be no material wealth. There would be nothing to familiarize yourself with, because there would be no relation to anything, and nothing would exist, right? So you need the experience. You need to be experiencing in order to have any sense of wealth, right? So the wealth is seated in the experience itself. Therefore, everybody who is experiencing is a wealthy man or a wealthy being, okay? And the more that you shed the conditionings, the more that you shed the programs, the more that you shed all the junk that society fills your mind with, like ego, then you can really tap into that wealth, right? You can really get into the center of being. And within the center of being, you can literally go into non-existence, which is what is needed, right? Because non-existence is extremely vitalizing through death, right? It's a paradoxical thing, but you connect yourself with God. Do this every day. Okay, this doesn't involve praying, doesn't even involve meditation, doesn't involve anything like that. You can use anything you want to connect with God, but it doesn't involve anything either, because it's not something that is involving. It's more something that just is, you know, like being, right? It's nothing having to do with any type of action whatsoever. It's more something that just is. You are eternally connected with God. Okay? This is consciousness. Everybody is consciousness. Everybody is spirit. Everybody is nature. Okay? So the more that you dive into that, the more that you can experience God, right? The unknown. You dive into the unknown. The most primal fear is of the unknown, right? This is why death is something that the ego thinks it fears so much, because death is very unknown to us modern day, right? So the fear of the unknown is seated in the concept of death. So so we fear it, right? But if you're able to transcend the flesh, then you can see beyond death, and you can see that there is no death, because there is no death. Okay, everything is energy. It's just a transformation taking place. A transformation. There's no such thing as heaven or hell, fulfillment, unfulfillment, none of this. Okay, you just be here now. because this is where heaven is, this is where hell is also. And you can choose which to be in, right, if you want to. But even that is just conceptual, so it's non-existent, because conceptual reality doesn't actually exist. But what does exist is the here and now, present moment. It's eternal. There is no future and there is no past. Because the future, I can't hold it in my hand, and it's not happening right now, and it won't ever be happening right now, because right now, the only thing that's happening is now, the eternal now. That's why it's called the eternal now. The past is already past, so it doesn't exist anymore. It's like having somebody die in your family. They don't exist anymore, right? So it's the same thing with the past. The past is no longer here. It's passed on, right? And it's the same thing with the future. They're both illusory, conceptual projections from the eternal now. And if you get entangled with them, then separation can arise, and separation can bring you into egoic-like states, right? But you can also shift your awareness into higher perception, which will allow you to see that separation consciousness is just another space to be filled, right? As you begin to illuminate brighter with the balancing of masculine and feminine energies, right? And you do this through connecting yourself with nature. Nature will heal you. Nature will do this for you, and you don't even have to ask. It's just something that is given to you, or something that you already are in, okay? Because it's God, okay? Now, connect yourself with nature. That's all there is to it. And you can slowly experience the unknown, right? Experiencing the unknown is what you need, because this is going to allow you to expand your awareness into the unknown, right? And that's the universal movement. That's what the entire universe is doing, expanding its awareness. And the entire universe is becoming aware. And the more that you resonate within that awareness, the more that you're able to connect with the universal expansion of awareness, making you universally conscious, okay? And that's all there is to it. That's connection to God, right? Don't make it something hard, because it's not something hard. It's something that happens inevitably. It's happening right now. If you just allow it, right? You can think that your ego is going to resist it, because the ego loves resistance, but the ego doesn't exist. So the resistance itself doesn't actually exist either. There's just the eternal flow. So you got to let go and get into the flow, okay? And you don't have to change anything either, because change is inevitable, right? So you don't have to forcefully change anything. You just get into the change. It's already happening right now. My hair is growing, right? It's changing. Flowers are growing right now, changing. Everything is blossoming. The sun blossoms, changing. Everything's changing, right? Flux, energetical flux, okay? Observe it more. Observe the process more. It's a musical, or it's an orchestra, or it's a show, right? And it's the show that is going to actually nourish you. It's not television. This isn't gonna mess you up. It's not gonna make you dumb. It's not gonna make you stupid. But the universal show is going to teach you higher mathematics, and you don't have to ask. It's just something that comes to you, okay? And you can be thankful for that. You can be left in a gracious state. You can show your gratitude, right? And it will circuit within you, and you can multiply it, and you can shower it onto other people's, right? Do that for yourself, and you can slowly come into that abundance of life, which is energy, which is consciousness, right? If you're low in energy, you don't have life unless you shed the body, right? But it's unless you die, then you are eternally alive. But if you are full of energy, if you have energy, you are a lively person. You're conscious, okay? So that's all there is. I'm gonna take off. See you later. Peace out. One love and have a great evening.